and welcome to the bonus video of my 13-part series of the 13 biggest mistakes that beginning saxophonists and even experienced saxophonists make that prevent them from moving up to the next level or even prevent them from getting started. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to share with you a confession that over and above everything else I've taught you in the 13-part series, which is important, there is one crucial point you need to know to accelerate your ability to play the saxophone. And here's something, is to sing. Now, I am not joking. In fact, over and above every other technique which you're going to learn, this is probably going to be the one which is going to allow you to not only accelerate your progress, but play by ear quicker, even read music faster, and all this. This is to learn to sing and take learning to sing seriously. Now, here's my own experience with this particular problem. I never had a voice which could hold a note steadily. I could never really sing in tune. As a result of this, when I was in high school, though I was a saxophonist and though I was seen to be, the kid on the block playing the saxophone, I was never allowed into choir. And this used to plague me for many years, also in my ability to really control my vocal range. And then I decided to actually look at this much more closely, because obviously I had to do this for a living. And I decided to go about looking at solving my problem singing. And no go. I went to various singing teachers. Nearly all of them said there was no hope. Then I discovered one gentleman, who I only give his name out to my private clients, who taught me how to sing and how to use my voice appropriately. Now, as a result of this, something very interesting happened. Playing the saxophone literally became a lot easier. When I went up to the top of the range, I could play top notes beautifully. They just sung and spoke out with a sweetness which I had not heard, honestly, in the entire time I played the saxophone. So how is it you can get into this, right? This idea of singing and this idea of certain techniques. So I have put below a technique which I use to actually get better at playing the saxophone. And this comes from Joe Allard, said to be the grandmaster of saxophone teaching. And this is playing with the saxophone mouthpiece. I'm not joking. It sounds terrible when you do it. But I got this from a gentleman who runs jazz labs. And this is how I'm able to get this full altissimo technique, full 4-octave range. And so I've put his video in as well below that, as well as a link for you to buy the saxophone silencer. You will want to buy the saxophone silencer. Also, as with everything that I sell, again, I'm upfront. It's an affiliate offer. I do get a little bit of money as a result of you buying it. As everything which you buy through my link, there is a premium which I am giving away. In other words, how to play with the saxophone mouthpiece over and above what you see in that video. By the way, the video is free on his website. I've only just taken the video from the website and I've put the video here on my blog. So if you want to go to the Jazz Lab website and see it there, feel free. Again, I'm not trying to hide anything here, but here's the idea I need for you to think about. When playing the saxophone mouthpiece, when I started off playing it, as well as singing, because you're going to do both. In order for you to get a note, you're going to la, play mouthpiece, la, play mouthpiece, la, play mouthpiece. I did this for like 10 days, playing the saxophone mouthpiece. And the difference it made in my playing of the saxophone was simply revolutionary. Particularly when you go up past the top G. I was able to blow at the top of my range in tune with sweet intonation. I was able to hear intonation in a very different way, have much more control over things. Even my bottom notes, like the bottom B flat, was just speaking like that. So, as a result of this, I've decided to put this as a bonus video that you need to do both, right? In this, I've put this in. I've also put access to another resource of mine, which I speak about, and this resource is how you can look at starting the process of going through sight singing and learning to look at it from this perspective. Now, again, for many of you, this may be over and beyond what you're willing to do. And I appreciate that, right? Many of you may have been told that, oh, you can't sing. But here's the point. You're playing a woodwind instrument. The saxophone is nearest to the human voice. No other instrument is as close to human voice as the saxophone. It makes sense that you need to sing to play the instrument. But do you know what? Very few, in fact, I don't know any of the gurus who are teaching this. Sing and play your sax. And this is the problem fundamentally. This is why it takes so long, because what happens is that you're disconnecting your saxophone from yourself. In order for your saxophone and yourself to be one, there needs to be this deep understanding. And the understanding is this, that when I play the saxophone, it is simply an extension of what I'm hearing in my head, what I'm able to sing with my voice. This is an important point. So this is why singing is so crucial. Just going through the mouthpiece exercises will take you to a level beyond which most amateurs never really get to. And remember that this is just doing the exercises. In fact, even poorly, just do them poorly. Once you just get used to it, just 5 minutes a day will do wonders to your technique. Now, this is what I want to give you as a bonus tip, learning to sing. I call this the Holy Trinity. It is in my course, PlaySaxNow Basics course. And the 3 ones are, and this is my innovation in actually teaching the saxophone. Sure, there are many things I can teach you on the saxophone, but my true innovation as a saxophone teacher is this idea of a focus on off-the-horn techniques, what I call things which have to do with impact playing the saxophone, but are not with you playing the saxophone. This is piano. This is music theory and musicianship. And the third side of that Holy Trinity or the triangle is, of course, singing. You need to combine all 3 to accelerate your learning of the saxophone. Now, again, this may not be what you want to hear. And I have to actually address this right now, because I appreciate when I explain this to people in real life, as opposed to on video, I get this all the time. You know what, there must be a shorter method. I saw so-and-so online. I went to so-and-so's blog. I heard yada yada. Yes, that may seem so to you, but I have seen so many common problems crop up over and over again. And I'm talking about people who've been playing 10, 15 years, but sound like people who've been playing only 2 years. The reason is because they do not study these off-the-horn techniques. Beyond a certain point, learning your instrument is fine, but if you don't understand stuff like musicianship, harmony and the rest, improvising becomes problematic because you are guessing. If you don't understand the fundamentals of piano, again, improvisation and playing on a really high level, whether it be jazz, pop, or classical, becomes problematic because you can't hear and understand what's going on. If you don't understand how to sing, actual playing of your instrument becomes a problem, because particularly when you go to these higher notes, what you'll find out is that playing the saxophone well is actually taxing. This is true of any musical instrument. There's a reason why when you look at professionals and you see them after playing a concert, they literally are completely knackered. They've literally rinsed out all the energy they have until they recuperate. It's because focusing on that level takes quite a bit out of you. So I know the saxophone is perfectly adaptable, but without learning to sing, you're going to find that practicing, you will feel exhausted nearly after every practice. And this is the truth. Even for me, I find it curious with these marathon practices of whether the story of Charlie Parker or Sonny Rollins, how they could practice for 16 hours, 8 hours a day. Because the mental energy needed to get it right is not sustainable for more than 2 or maximum even 3 hours. You can't go for longer than that if you're doing it properly. So I offer this word of advice towards singing. Now, many of you are going to ask, why isn't there a comprehensive product and all? Why is it only that there is the mouthpiece silencer thing? Well, the fact is that it takes some time to get people to do it properly. And it is not something which is easy for me to actually put on video and put it out at a more economical rate. This is something I go into in my one-to-one programs. I introduce you to the guy who taught me how to sing and how to use my voice, and he'll come and work with you. Again, to put it quite frankly, if you can just sing yourself and use the mouthpiece exercise, it will take you to a level, right? A level beyond the majority of amateurs out there. Now, if you want to go to a higher level, that is something which you have to take up with me when you're offered a chance to consult and work with me in my private programs. And it is not, again, this is a big secret of the saxophone, this issue of learning to sing and learning how to use your voice. It's something you need to take very seriously in order for you to play the saxophone on a high level. So I thank you for watching this video series and look forward to some updates and other things coming your way. Make sure you comment on this video, make sure you share it, like the video, and more importantly, remember to play your sax now.